What's up, everybody?
I was doing that before he went live.
Yeah, she didn't
I
know.
wasn't quite aware that.
I sprung her on it. But those who watching on the replay,
Hello.
welcome. My name is Joe,
And I'm Jessica.
and we are full-time. I gotta look over here at the camera because I'm used to it being on the other side. Sorry about that if I'm not making eye contact with you. But we are full-time resellers. We buy liquidated goods. We sell it for profit online and here in our community in Arkansas.
That's true. Yeah, normally we have like a set topic that we want to talk about, but today we just thought we would update you guys on what's going on with us.
Yeah.
Some things that we're kind of, focusing on, working on, some challenges that we've come across, different things. And then if you guys have any questions, I always love having, it's my lame friend Reseller King.
Sup, lame-o.
But yeah, no, I just want to, I don't know, I guess we just want to kind of give an update. I know normally we come on here with a plan, but we just did not have a plan today. Hey, Tommy, how are you?
And if you're watching on the replay, I know in the past, kind of our live videos have been really structured around like 3 points. We may have some of those to, in the future. Today is not that. So if you're just wanting to jump in and watch this and get like 3 tips or this is not the video for you. So I know last week we gave somebody anxiety because we were everywhere. So
Yeah.
we're sorry.
I'm sorry about that. I totally understand it, totally get it. But I think, our live videos are really, we want to connect with everybody, keep everybody updated. And then a lot of you guys out there, you're our accountability, buddies. You help keep us accountable and everything like that. So this is us having a conversation. We usually have a topic.
Keep sinking in your hole. Like, our garage is slanted.
My
Squirrel.
desk is like the corner. And so everybody, like Whitney and Joe, like they'll sit down, and then next thing you know, like all 3 of us are like in this corner. I'm like, y'all,
what's going on, Cat?
up.
Yeah.
So
It's like
yeah,
we're sliding this way.
but yes, so yes, we normally have those. We do like to do our how-to instructional videos and share our knowledge with everybody. And what? And then
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Well, we have this light up here, if that counts.
Oh, that's so bright. You're messing up the camera. No, maybe not. I thought it was.
Let's see. Maybe do we look better without it?
I don't know. No, it's fine. What do you guys? I don't know. It's fine. And then we also do like our little vlogs that kind of tell a story because we love telling stories. But the live videos are really for, connecting.
It's engagement.
Engagement.
And if y'all have questions.
And talking.
So, if you didn't watch last week's video.
Oh, that's true. You never know what's next.
I know. What's up, Dale? But last week we kind of gave an update about some changes we had made, some restructuring. Now, I don't know about restructuring, but...
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
I don't know. We're streaming from our iPhone because our internet quality, for some reason, we've got like 50 megs per second, which is fast for where we are. But it doesn't stream well for when we hardwire it. So if the quality's low, let us know. If anybody else is having any issues out there, if so, then we'll look at doing something else in the future. I don't know what, but it could just be, I don't know. All right, so Tommy says it's good. So awesome. But last week we just kind of gave an update, kind of where we have been, where we're going, talked about some different things. Well, the next step, I guess, is Jessica. Her last day of co-op is tomorrow. So next week really is our first full week of trying to get a new routine. I know for us, we like routine. But trying to find that routine is going to be a different story for us. So I know we plan on. What you want to tell them about that?
No, go for it.
I just feel like I talk.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
You're rocking it.
Like my
knocking it
off,
out
though.
the park.
We started. Every Monday we plan on doing some how-to videos. This last Monday we did a video on Facebook, selling on Facebook Marketplace. I know a lot of our viewers out there, a lot of you guys, you don't sell on Facebook, you sell on eBay or Mercari or Poshmark. Some sell on Amazon, but we get asked lots of questions about selling on Facebook, so we did that video. We've got a couple more of those videos coming out. The people that did watch it seem to really like it. We got lots of positive feedback from it. What's going on, Swamp Picker?
I mean, Facebook is just something that's common to everybody, no matter what part of the country you're in. Like Facebook is an opportunity. I know that the climate for Facebook where we are particularly is very, very good, and it may not be the same for everywhere else. But those are three things. Like we did three, or Joe really, he did 3 tips that we use consistently on Facebook Marketplace and have seen results. So we definitely want to share that, share the experience of this is what works for us. So if you guys do share on Facebook and you've used any of those tips, let us know how they work for you, because I'm interested just to see if that's, a good best practice for Facebook in general or just for our area.
Yep. So. And so then on Wednesdays, we'll be going live every Wednesday at 3. That's the plan. And then on Fridays, we plan on doing some, I guess, day in the life, reseller type, vlog type stuff. I don't even want to call it a vlog.
No, it's kind of like a story.
It's more like a short film, because vlog style, pretty much vlog style is just, somebody walking around with a camera and they're holding it. And it's really one-dimensional as far as the filming goes. So we're really wanting to tell, really short film with different camera angles and views. So short films about our life.
I think it's important too, because Joe and I, we talk so much about, routine and structure, and, we give all these first you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this. But I don't know, I was really interested. Joe, he loves the idea of the cinematography and telling stories and everything. But for me, I'm about practicalities. I really like, people say things like, you need to do this, this, and this. And I'm like, okay, well, how? What does that look like? And so I think a big goal for me on these Friday videos is...
It won't stay.
A big goal for me on these Friday videos is to share what that looks like. Putting our tips and the things that we've learned into action and letting people see what that looks like. And I think that's really important. And then we want to do kind of like a season or like a series. I'm not really quite sure what to call it. I'll just tell you what it is, and you can, yeah. But we're
seasons,
I guess. We're gonna record a whole set of videos now, and then we're gonna release them once they're all finished, telling a start to finish story about something usually related. It could be related to reselling, or it could be related to something else, but mostly reselling right now. We want to, right now, what's a big issue that's going on in our lives? How are we going to solve that issue? How are we going to, go through the conflict of that and figure out, right now, I know a lot of you we're in the middle of some flea market conflict, and you're following along with that. Something along the lines of that, where, if you want to follow the story, you can totally.
Yeah. And those, we plan on airing those either Tuesday night or Thursday night. So it'll be every Thursday night, or we don't know the exact logistics of it, but it would be every week at the same time. We may do those as premieres, that way we can get some interaction with you guys, you can get some feedback for it, but really some more structured storytelling content that lasts 4 or 5 or 6 videos, instead of just a video here talking about this and a video here talking about this, but something that y'all can follow along with,
be more consistent,
that also fills our need with being different, with doing something different, but also able to put on a quality of production that's good. So Reseller King, any apps? We don't use any apps, only the eBay selling app. It's the only app that we use for reselling, granted, just because most of our action comes on eBay. If we had the Amazon, when we were selling on Amazon, I had some different apps that I would use to track different stuff. I don't know. I know Reseller King Cat was saying she was having some quality issues from our stream earlier today, or earlier in the stream, so that may be it. But I don't know. I don't use any apps. And then no apps, no Chrome extensions. None of that stuff. There's lots of good stuff out there. I know Chris over at Daily Refinement, he uses some different Chrome extension. He has a software package that he uses that will find items on eBay with the parameters that he has set up, that will go and pretty much tell him items that he wants for certain price ranges. But he does that. So if you're wanting that, I forget which app or which video he did. It was a recent one where he talked about it. And then, hello, Danny Mae. She's talking to you.
Oh, hello. I was reading it. I was getting there. But yeah, no, I'm doing well. I'm fighting I don't know, it's my last day of co-op, right? And I'm like super, like, I'm like, if I get exposed to anything viral, like, I'm like elderberry and like drinking lots of tea, drinking lots of water, you know. But I think it's possible that maybe one of my kids went home sick yesterday. So I'm hoping it wasn't the case, but if so, then I was exposed. So I've been trying to drink elderberry, and now I have a headache. So I'm not quite sure. I don't know what it means.
My body's been fighting something.
But I'm
for
like, look,
a week off and on.
I am too busy to be sick. So
Yes.
y'all say a prair for me, because I'm not.
Yes.
I'm not having it.
It's going on the bargain
How are you,
effect,
Danny Mae?
Tommy. And yeah, that stomach bug.
effect.
Plus, here in
Hello.
Arkansas, like, I don't know where you guys live and y'all's weather patterns, but like in the morning, this morning, it was like 30 degrees, and it's like 60 degrees right
In
now.
Arkansas,
So
I
it's
never know
like-
what to wear. It's
like-
like
You wake up, it's winter, then the afternoon, it's like spring or summer, depending on the day. It's ridiculous.
and so everybody in this area has sinus issues right now.
Yeah.
Like everybody's head hurts. You know, that we do have, like, there's 2 different types of flu out. We just ran into somebody today who has bronchitis. And then, I mean, there's just like all sorts of stuff. And I'm like, y'all stay away. I am so, like, I'm serious, y'all. If I get, also, I don't know if y'all can tell this about my personality. Like, Joe's like, what are you going to say?
What is it? What's coming?
I don't do illness very well. In fact, when I found out that I was pregnant, before I found out I was pregnant with Lucy, our second born, I Googled my symptoms
I forgot about this.
and
This
thought,
is a funny story.
what was it, rheumatic fever? Or
Yeah.
something like that? I Googled,
She looked it up.
I Googled my symptoms, and I was like, I have rheumatic fever. Like, I'm dying. Like, we have to go to the ER. And Joe's like, you don't have rheumatic fever. And
I looked it up.
He looked up pregnancy symptoms, because both of the kids that we've had together, he's known that I was pregnant before me,
Yeah.
because I just think it's cancer or something like ridiculous.
Thank you!
Oh, thanks. Oh, that's so exciting. I'm so excited. But,
The rheumatic fever. I looked it up.
like,
I'm
it doesn't even exist in the United States.
What does she have? Like, what is this that she's proclaiming that she has? I don't know if any of you out there, like, you start feeling something, and then you go to Google and you like Google symptoms, and like,
I have 24 hours
I've
left
got
to live.
pancreatic cancer. I've got to go see my oncologist tomorrow. So I looked up what is it?
Rheumatic fever. or
Rheumatic
something.
fever, and I'm like, well, this hasn't occurred since like the early 1920s. And I'm like, have you been to Africa? Were you born?
Wheaties over here
Were you
cracking up.
born like in 1900, Jessica? No, I'm like, you do not have this.
So then he started looking up. So he didn't
like-
even tell me what he was looking up. He looked up pregnancy symptoms. And there was like 17 early signs of pregnancy. And he started saying, do you have
I
this?
was like,
And I'm
"Do you
like,
have this?"
and I had like probably
I didn't tell her it
10
was a pregnancy symptom.
I probably had like 10 to 15 of these symptoms. And he was like, do you have this? Yes. Do you have this? Yes. Do you have this? Yes. And he's like, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is it? Is it rheumatic fever? I told you that's what it was.
I'm like,
and he
"You're
goes,
pregnant."
he was like, no, you're pregnant. And I was like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not pregnant.
She
Because
was
with my
pregnant.
firstborn, I had no symptoms. Like, I had absolutely none. So,
And then with Lucas, she woke up one Sunday morning.
oh yeah.
It's like 8 a.m. She's like, I want
Pho,
pho,
which
the
is
little
a
noodle dish. And I'm like, dang it, you're pregnant. I mean, who wakes up at 8 a.m. on a Sunday wanting pho? I mean, she is Asian, so like it's possible, but not that.
And he was right. I was pregnant.
She pregnant. No, I hadn't had no more of that.
So this is why not only is it very inconvenient for me to be sick, but I don't do sick very well. So like I'll get like a small headache and I'm like, Joe, I can't go on.
You know
now I can go to CrossFit and do like deadlifts and power cleans until my arms fall off, and I will rock that kind of pain. But illness, like feeling tired and sick and clammy and feverish, like I can't. He can like work a full 8-hour day with the flu.
You know, it's like you'll see women sharing stories about how their husbands are when they're sick. Like with us, it's reversed. Like
I get the man flu.
She's got a little sniffle. She's like, I'm dying. I'm like, put a Band-Aid on it.
Meanwhile, Joe's like, I got the flu, but I got to go to work.
Yeah, and we got to get stuff done.
And I'm
if
like,
I don't work, we don't eat.
No, actually, I had a headache today and accidentally fell asleep working. I was apparently snoring. Whitney and Joe were letting me sleep.
She was like...
I didn't even know I fell asleep.
She went to edit a video over here. Right there. She laid her head down, and then like 30 minutes later, she wakes up. She's like,
Stop. Not like
yeah,
that.
she did.
I had a dream that the house was on fire.
Whitney, did she not?
She did.
Yeah.
She really did.
She did it.
Okay, I had a dream that the house was on fire, so I woke up like I was gonna run, but then I realized that was dreaming.
No pregnancy test. We're good.
No, I'm good.
We're good. We're good.
Joe is like, don't say it.
I'm almost 40. I don't
Hey,
like.
Lisa.
I love kids, but like, you know, I got started late. Like, I went from no kids to 3 kids in like how many years? 3 years? Yeah. I'm like, man, I love kids, but they're getting to that point now where, you know, Lucas is enough.
Lucas, I love him so much, but he gets into everything. Now, Joe's mom told me once that she left for just a little while to go visit somebody at the hospital or something, and his dad was in charge.
He went to sleep.
Of watching him, and he took a nap. And at like 2 or 3 years old, he unscrewed all of the hinges and the
How do you even have the strength to turn
the
a
lower
screwdriver?
cabinets and took all of the doors off their kitchen cabinets.
I did do that.
So Lucas gets into everything, and he got it from him. Because my 2 girls, I could like put a movie on and be like, I'm going to take a shower. I'll be right back. And when I come back, they're just sitting there watching their movie.
Don't turn us into Child Department of Human Services, whatever it's called. But Lucas hit a growth spurt a while back. This is months ago. And we were used to be able to have stuff on the countertops, and he
oh
not
my gosh,
grab
are you really
it.
going to tell this story
I'm
right
telling
now?
the story. And
not our proudest moment.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, you're good. I got an alarm on the phone going off. So he
This is not our proudest moment.
I was cutting some vegetables or something, and I walk away. I don't know what I was doing. I was in the kitchen though, and I hear he's got the freaking 10-inch knife like a freaking samurai sword, and he's just clawing at the cabinets. I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing?
It was scary.
Yeah,
like we were both like, oh!
I'm like, man, at least he knew how to, like, how did he even know how to handle the sword? But so don't turn us in from now on. Like, it's far away.
Oh yeah, we don't do that. I didn't even know he could reach it. To be honest with you, so.
That's how we knew he could reach it. So he's enough. He is enough. So he's too much of a handful. I can't.
He's 20 months old, but I'm
He
pretty
no
sure
listen.
I've aged like 5 years since he's been born.
He no listen. He don't listen. It's like yesterday, I was trying to get him dressed for co-op. And like, Lucas, come here, please. Wasn't as nice, probably. And that dude lays down on the ground, like 10 feet from me, and like just starts reclining, like he's fixing to just watch me. I'm like, no.
Oh, good. I'm glad Ashley made it. She said she was first on the last stream, and I was
Yes.
like, I'm sorry, I don't know how to make it work.
We set up the live stream so everybody would know that we go live, and but I don't know how, because my computer, the internet, this Wi-Fi, it sucks. But we can't go live from the phone from a created event. Sounds complicated, so I got to try to figure it out.
I just want to say thank you guys for being so supportive
Yes.
after we tell you our parenting blunders.
Yes. There's lots of
I love
them.
how we tell our parenting blunders and we're like, okay, don't judge us. And they're like, oh, yeah, we got some of those. Like,
Yeah,
you're
see-
good. I'm like,
See, it's like I'm learning a lot now because, like, Jillian's 7, but I didn't meet her until she was 3, so I missed the first 3 years of her life, of all the things that you learn as a parent. So there's so many things that I do that I'm like, that was a bad idea. Like, why did I do that?
and I never made it easy because I let him learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Like, he would do stuff and then it turned out to be a bad idea. And I'd be like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that.
Tell me these things because I don't want to learn the hard way. I know, right, Lisa? There's people out there that, it's crazy, but they're all alive.
Wait, a 16-month, a 17, almost 18-year-old, and a
20.
20. Wow, that's amazing.
Oh, I don't know what Ghost Gas Minnow 3. They're speaking some language.
That sounds like...
But I think they may have just cursed us. It's a hidden. You guys don't see it. I'll show it for a second so y'all can see it.
No, don't do that.
No, I'll hide it. They may others. So, can I delete? Who's Gas?
Just
Man?
leave it. Just leave it. Don't worry about it.
All right. Sorry, somebody was spamming us or something. So, I don't know. I forgot where I was.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like these kinds of conversations. I know that a lot of times we all want to be like reselling related and stuff, but I think it's also good to connect in other ways, telling
Yes.
stories and
Yes.
knowing. I mean, I think the hardest part for me right now, not just parenting wise, but in general, is all like, it's like, it almost seems like we see a need or a gap in our routine, and it's not, our business isn't being efficient because of it, or we're not doing very well because of it, and then we adjust, and then as soon as I get used to that, which I don't do change very well, just I wish that I did. I wish I was the kind of person that could just roll with the punches, but I'm one of those people that's like, okay, I gotta know what's going on.
I'm like, what can we change today?
Yeah, and so we've been changing things. Like, it almost seems like, we start something, just as I start getting used to it, it's not working anymore, and we got to change something else. And so I think that's a big reason why I've been so tired. It's just we have one schedule, it works, and then we change it to something else, and we change it to something else, and I do really, really well when I know what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's been a big reason why I've been so tired, and honestly probably a little stress.
Let's go on Craig, the land shark picker.
Land shark.
I always think of Craig from last Friday every time I see you pop some. I'm like, you ain't got the light to kick it, Craig. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about.
I don't
If
have any idea.
any of y'all have seen Friday, maybe. I think there's some people in my age grade.
Age grade.
age range. I think y'all know what I'm talking about out there. So plus, it's we're not all just reseller. Like we don't. Yeah, well, la, 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 la.
What are you saying?
I don't know. We're not all just. We aren't just resellers. Like, I don't know. It's like a lot of people in life. I don't know where I'm going with this, but
I don't either. Let's just figure it out.
they're like, as
Hi, Kat.
Americans, you're like, what do you do? That's like you meet somebody, you're like, what do you do? Because we find identity, we're told our identity is found in what we do and not who we are. So like reselling is just something that we do, but it's not who we are. So we're trying to show you guys who we are, not just something that we do. We can answer? I've been watching Pootie Pie. If you haven't, it's stupid, but it's funny. And he randomly changes his voices and when he's talking, so I didn't even realize. Maybe I've watched too much of him. I don't know, but we just want, like, we'll answer questions about things that we do, but like, we're not just resellers. It's just something that we do, but we want to show you guys who we are.
Well, I think a big part of like why we run our business the way that we do is very, you know, unconventional in a lot of ways. And in order for us to fully explain why reselling is the way that it is for us, is that we really want to show you why. Like, why did, you know, like a lot of people, I know when we closed down our warehouse, a lot of people didn't really understand why we did that, considering we were making great money out of it. And so in order for us to explain like why we make the decisions that we do, it's important that you understand who we are as people, and then hopefully encourage other people, you know, when they are building their business or doing things, you know, reselling related, that when they make their decisions, they make decisions that are true to who you are, who they are as a person. Because I think that's a really big key in happiness, that a lot of times we make decisions based on this, what's going on in this moment, like what makes sense in this moment, but you don't necessarily make decisions based on who you are as a person and what you're fighting for long term. And so a lot of times decisions that you make in the moment don't make sense, but in the grand scheme of things, in the big picture, you know, it does make sense in it. And in the end, you know, you may take a temporary loss, but it's a huge gain with your happiness, with your motivation, with your desires to do more. And so I think that's a big part of like why we want to be so authentic and open and like really say like, hey, like we're struggling with this, and this is what we're going to do about it. You know, this is how we're going to try and solve this problem. And then if that doesn't work, then we'll say, hey, that didn't work. Like, let's figure it out, you know? And so I think, you know, a lot of people, they like the channels that are one track, and there's great channels out there that are one track. You know, it's only about this or it's only about that. But this channel, like, I want it to really, I don't know, I just really want to share with everyone, like, the business, absolutely, because it's a huge part of, like, our life. But then the other parts that make up what the business represents and what it is to us.
Yeah. Hello, Tiffany. We've been praying for you. Get well. And I was going to say something to add on to what you said. But I wanted to say hello to Tiffany. I'm not blaming you, Tiffany, for... I wanted to say hi to you, and then I forgot. But we're going to say something, but I forgot. It'll come back to me. So I don't know if y'all have any questions that are out there.
Or anything you guys want to share.
Yep. And it's just... we're just here. No agendas.
No.
And
normally we do have an agenda, but today we do not.
Yep.
We were working up until like 5 minutes before we were supposed to go live, and we were like, we gotta set up.
Yep. Today was I don't know. It's like I've been at a routine all week. It's been taking. We've been selling more items, so like shipping is taking a little bit longer, so just my routine is off. You know, it's like last week we talked about, you know, doing 100 items for me. Then Whitney's doing 100 plus items. So we've been sourcing that. I don't know, something about that is just liberating. Because before it was always like, buy as much as you can and grow. But I don't know, it's like when we came to the realization of like we want to grow, we want to be successful, but like we really like reselling is the tool that we are using to have the lifestyle that we want, where we want freedom time-wise, but also freedom financially, and reselling is the tool that we are using to allow that opportunity for us to create a life of experiences for us and for also for our kids. I think it's, you know, like for a lot of adults, for millennials, I should say, it's very, we're about the experiences in life, not so much the stuff, like not buying all the big stuff, buy more stuff, but about the experiences of life. So that's really what we're trying to do.
I can't work.
I don't know. Here you go. Yes. But it was just liberating when we come to realization, because then I can just source that. Like I don't have to try and find a bunch of sources to buy more stuff. We have plans and things that we can do to be able to buy more stuff, being able to really have 100 items for me to list each week, and then for Whitney also. Like it's a lot of stress has come off of my plate. I'm enjoying life more and actually able to enjoy things. And you know, I think when you're in that mindset of grow, like I got a list, but not really having a goal in mind, that you can work yourself into a stress and you don't realize it. And then it's like you can never feel like you can actually rest. Like you're always having to work. But like I've been finding myself getting done like at, you know, 2 or 3 o'clock, and I'm like, like I'm good to go. Like I can take off of work for the rest of the day, and I'm okay with that. And I don't have that urge like it's like before I would get off of work, you know, to go to spend time with the kids, but it was, my mind was divided because I'm like, I need to be working because we have these goals, we have this that we want to do. But I had the stress of it, so I was like, I got to do something. So I think y'all know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ashley wanted to go to the warehouse next time she went south, but that's okay. I'm not saying that warehouse is out of the question. I'm just saying, we're just saying like right now, it didn't fit. But we may get another one, I mean, I would love to do another truckload of Amazon medium boxes. That was fun. I loved that.
I want some more. But I think in January we could probably get about 12 pallets here in our garage. So I'm thinking about in January or February going over to Nashville and getting some pallets of those fun medium boxes, and because I like those.
So, and also somebody asked, I missed it, I think it was Ashley, asked how we heat our garage. So our garage is actually pretty well insulated for the most part, but we've actually divided it into kind of 2 sections. So like this is like an aisleway. You got our shipping station way back there. There's Whitney and Whitney's desk, Joe's desk, and then my desk here. And this shelf kind of blocks it. And then we've got small space heaters down here that kind of keep this area significantly warmer than the rest of the, so we don't have to worry about heating like all of that. So back here there's like, I don't know, how big is that space? I mean, it's big. It's a big
300 square feet.
Yeah, so we have like a fairly large space over there, and that stays fairly cold because there's not a lot of heat. But the walls, we have insulated walls in our garage, so it's not that hard to keep warm. Yeah. I think honestly it's significantly harder to keep cool, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I mean, during the summertime, it was fairly warm this summer. You know, it got to hundreds. In the, like, the mornings were good. In the afternoons, it would start to get where it was a little warm. And we just have a little window unit that we have over here with some fans and stuff. But it's a lot easier to heat and cool this than it was our warehouse. We didn't cool it last year when we had it, but we did heat it. But it was a big space to heat, and it was pretty cold in there. So later, Danny May, I don't know if you're still on here, but have a good day. Thank you for supporting us. We greatly appreciate it. And yep, Steampunk says that saying the issue of no matter how many hours I work, I never feel like it's enough. And I get it. The struggle is real, especially if you have a family or if you have these lofty goals. You almost become a slave to it without even realizing it. And the whole reason why you're doing it is for freedom. It actually becomes slavery. Like, you become slavery to the freedom that you're trying to create, and it's never actually freedom. So
I think it's having to figure out what works for, because, you know, I think it's a personal thing, you know. You need money is a great tool because, you know, you need it. But then, you know, like Joe and I were talking, like, if we worked less hours, you know, obviously we're going to have less income. Like, what are we willing to live without? Like, you know, do we need all of these things more than we need, more than we want? You know, do we want, you know, cable and all this other stuff more than we want the freedom to spend time with our kids and do those things? And so, you know, Joe and I, we have had some hard conversations where we've had to really think, and we haven't always agreed, but I think, I don't know, we do pretty good with conflict.
I know they said no, but nobody else on the show unless it's a Josh. So I don't know.
What?
They could be like, oh, she says,
yeah.
Change your name to Josh. I could legally change it, I guess. Like, I just changed your name to Josh. My mom would probably not happy. And I'm the fourth too, so that'd be kind of weird. I don't know if I can do that.
That's so real, yes.
Yep.
When Steampunk used to work for somebody years ago, balance was easy because you don't have to dictate that, but working
You know
for
how
yourself.
much you're gonna make every 2 weeks or the 1st and the 15th.
Yep.
It's there. It's like you could get off of work and punch out and you don't have to worry about the stress of it. And like, I don't know, maybe we could do a video or a series about like that, like the balance, because there's a lot of resellers, they don't talk about that. Like the, maybe they do, maybe I just don't watch them. So if y'all are out there and you're watching and you watch other resellers or other entrepreneurs that talk about like the struggle and finding the balance and the feeling of always having to do and having to work and having to be able to, trying to check out from work, it's let me know, like, because I don't know if anybody, I don't watch a lot of YouTubers. There's only a handful, but there's so many that I just can't. And like with what we do and stuff, it's very hard to be able to do it. But I think more people talking about the struggle of being an entrepreneur, being a reseller, because I don't know, you're a reseller, but you're really an entrepreneur, that it's a big struggle. Like, people paint it as this glamorous thing, and it's not glamorous.
I mean, it's trendy.
It's trendy, it's hot, like, ooh, I'm an entrepreneur. Yeah, but like, most people only like the process of setting up something, but don't have the endurance or the tenacity to actually push through. And that's why most businesses fail. I think 97 or 90, I don't know the exact percentage, it's in the 90s. 90% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. And you look at how many resellers are out there that, like, they're like, I quit reselling, So I don't know, Tommy's talking about the entrepreneurs show. I don't mind being on the show. I think it'd be very hard for us to do a continual thing with anybody's show, but we're always open to coming on and talking.
We do love being on the show. It is fun.
It's just like the time of day, it's like in the middle. So like usually those days are shot for me, just because I start working at 7, and then 7 to 9 I'm working, and then it's like relax talking. And then after that, it's like, it's just hard for me to, and I'm very like routine. So, but we are totally open to coming on. We always enjoy it. And,
we could do a regular thing. We just probably couldn't do it every day. I would like that, because I like the connection.
Yep.
Y'all do a really good job of connecting with the audience and everything, and I really
So we could probably do like a weekly type thing. We want to talk about it and for sure, but I think that's something we can probably do. Lisa says, I always feel like you should be working. Now that for yourself that you feel guilty about taking off a full day. Isn't it crazy? It's crazy how we take on these mindsets. Like me too. Like, it's like I get off work, like I feel guilty. It's like the days that that I would take off, like on Fridays, it's like I'm present with the kids, but I'm not really present with the family, because like I'm feeling guilty. Like, we need to be working. Like, as a provider, it's just, I don't know what it is, but there's something to that.
I really think it's societal expectations that are placed upon you, because as I can give a different viewpoint, and I'm sure Lisa you can relate, but like as a mom, if you do anything for yourself that doesn't involve your kids, a lot of times like mothers feel guilty. Although I'm a person I feel like has a fair amount of emotional maturity, I do feel like I understand the need for self-care and all of that, but I was literally just talking to Joe today, telling him that I was feeling, even though I understand, like, he totally supports my CrossFit journey. If his wrist was better, he'd be there with me. But I was going at 5 a.m. in the mornings, but Lucas has been going through a growth spurt, and there was just a lot of like stuff going on that made it really difficult for me to go at 5 a.m. So I've been going at 4:30 p.m. Mm-hmm. And when I leave, I get off of work and then I immediately go to CrossFit. My kids, they miss me and they want to be a part of my life and everything. And they don't understand that I'm leaving, but I'll be back, you know, type thing. And so they, you know, there's that separation anxiety. And I hate leaving my kids like that, even though I know that going to CrossFit for that 45 minutes to an hour is going to make me a better mom, is going to help with my mental health, it's going to help, you know, with stress and alleviating things, and also, you know, make me feel better about myself, help with my, you know, I am probably heavier now than I've been my entire life. I actually have a very small body frame, but I had 2 kids back to back. So, you know, I'm trying to it's okay. And so, you know, and so I'm doing a lot of these things, but every time I leave, like I am like almost like, should I just turn around and go home? Like, should I just, and I don't, because he doesn't, you know, he tells me go, like he kicks me out of the house.
Get out of the house.
Yeah.
Go.
Because he, you know, he supports it. But I think that it's societal. I really do think a lot of it is environmental and societal. You know, Joe, he feels that pressure because societally, like he's the breadwinner. And he is also very, you know, you're very goal oriented. You're very, you know, I want this to be successful. Not only that, I have, you know, 3 kids and a wife to support. So there's a lot of pressure for you to do that. So when you stop, I feel like, you know, there's a part of you that's like, you know, I want to make sure that I'm doing enough.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think that that has a lot to do with it. It may not be everything, but I think all of us, we're entrepreneurs and we feel the pressure to support our families and support ourselves. And as an entrepreneur, like it's not guaranteed like it is if you were working for corporate or working for those things. So I think all of us kind of feel that guilt.
Yeah.
So,
and I think, you know, I haven't heard anybody talking about it too, Steampunk. But I think it's a subject that people need. I need it.
I need it.
So I say when people need it, I'm not trying to tell people what they need, but just talking from the handful of people here that it's like we're pursuing after freedom, but then we are slaves. We feel guilty because we're in that cycle of feeling like we have to perform or have to work or make this much money or whatever it is, that we're still in that cycle, which we're still a slave in some essence to that way of life. So like the very thing that we're saying is freedom, we're actually in slavery to it. So is that really freedom? So that's just a thought. Ashley, I still do the mastermind call with Chris. I don't do it every day.
I haven't
once or twice a week, just because of the time of day with what we're trying to do, that I really have to be focused. But I still talk to him like once or twice a week on the phone. You know, we've I guess, you know, I would consider us friends. You know, he calls me, I call him. And yes, he has changed his strategy. And I think it's good, because if your strategy is staying the same, I don't know, I think changing strategy and fine-tuning strategy, it's good. I think with Chris doing the mastermind calls on YouTube every day, it really opened his eyes to a lot of stuff, and I know he has learned a lot from it. I don't know how much he's talked about it on YouTube, just because I can't watch every video that's out there. But a lot of it he's learned a lot from it, and it has been very good. I've enjoyed it. I've learned a lot from it. I think in life, whenever you start going and doing things like reselling, you learn so much that you didn't know that you would learn, or whenever you start doing something different, you learn something that you didn't think that you would learn, and that changes your scope and the way that you view what you're doing, and then you may change directions again because you have this new information available to you.
He does the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I totally respect it, but I'm not like that. I kind of wish I was more like that, really.
I mean, it's like, it's good. It helps fine tune what it is that everything that you're doing, it should funnel down to where you're getting more focused with anything. It's like, okay, now that I have this information, I can get more focused on this. So that's that, you know. So I feel like, you know, I don't know, some resellers, they struggle because they never really become a master of a certain category. They don't really treat it as a profession. That's lame, reseller man, for being so late.
I can't believe it. Lame.
It should have been sorry I'm lame, not late.
Better lame than never.
But it's not, it's treated as a hobby in that you don't grow your knowledge in it instead of you focus. It's easier to focus on a broad sourcing strategy instead of a fine-tuned sourcing strategy, because the more fine-tuned, the more time you have to spend learning that particular thing. And I don't know, it's just my take, because I went into it reselling in only one thing. Like, it was women's jeans, and then it was cell phones, and then stuck at cell phones, and I've grown somewhat over that time period, with cameras and GPSs and pallet goods and stuff, that all kinds of stuff there. So yeah.
And then bargain effect, we'll get with you. I think that's a good idea. Joe and I will talk about it, and then we'll get with you about maybe doing like a weekly being on the Entrepreneur Show. I do like that show.
Yeah.
So.
And yep, Steampunk 5 a.m. and feels guilty if he quit before 5. I know the struggle is real, man. The struggle is real.
Thanks for being honest about that too, because a lot of people aren't honest about it, and I think it's important that in this community that we do talk about those things, because we can help each other out. Like, it's good to I don't know, one of those things, like, nobody ever promised us life would be easy. Like, nobody ever promised us that. Jesus never even promised us
life shouldn't
easy.
be easy.
But it's about, what are you going to do in spite of the difficulties, And I think that a big part of it is not having to do it alone. There's a community of people, like the reseller community, like we've come together and we're all going through the same thing. If we could be honest about what's going on with us, we could help each other out. Because you never know, like if I say something like, hey, I'm struggling with this, and somebody says, you know what, I struggled with that too, here's what I did about it. That's great. Like, I want to get better. Like, there's a lot of things that I struggle with, and so, being honest about stuff like that would be really, I don't know. And that's a big part of like why I want to do these live streams, and why I want to do, YouTube videos that tell stories, because I want people to see authenticity. I want people to see struggle and conflict resolution, because there is nobody in this world, if you're doing life right, that doesn't have some kind of conflict or some kind of issue or something that they need to work on, and I can't make everybody else be authentic, but I can.
Yeah.
I can.
I mean, it's the thing about social media and YouTube and Facebook.
The highlight reels.
Is you only see what, like, for y'all, you only see what we allow you to see. And it's the same thing for everybody. Like, some people, like, for me, that's fake. Like, I can't do segmented parts of my life. Like, it's either you can experience all of this, but if you just want this, then that's not, like, this isn't the channel. If you only want this one thing, you can subscribe and watch those videos only when they come out, but who we are is it's gonna seep out in all of the videos. But people, like, they only show you what they want you to see. They're, especially resellers, they want to talk about this, and I sold this, and I found this, and all the highlight reels. But are they showing you, like some will tell you, like, the top mistakes I've made? We've done those. But are they really showing you, and it's people really showing you what's really going on and why you came about that? So Jessica had a great idea.
I did.
Yeah, she did.
What is it?
No, just as we do videos and stuff, and we're trying to really structure videos, films. Not vlogs, but short films.
I think
that really show really who we are. So we've been trying to really pursue the format, like how do we do that? How do we make it look? How do we film it and then do that? Like,
now, granted, I'm not encouraging us to make YouTube videos and air all your dirty laundry on social media. Definitely,
some people don't need to know. Definitely, they're not safe.
Yeah, definitely have boundaries, but I think that Joe and I are in a unique position where we're a husband and wife reseller team, and we are two completely different people, and we see things very differently. And if we could structure those videos where we can show people what that looks like in terms of, I was even thinking, like, in videos that we could have, like, short, like, little comments of, like, how we're perceiving a particular situation. you know,
Yep.
so as to connect with everybody. Like, this is what I'm seeing, you know, and somebody be like, wow, I never even saw it that way. Or like, yeah, I totally connect with Joe in this situation. Like, that's what I was seeing as well. You know, and just be really, you know, authentic, you know, with, you know, especially around, you know, building a business and things like that. So, I don't know.
So that's what we're trying to do.
I was thinking about it.
We're slowing down to speed up.
Slowing down to speed up. That's so profound.
It is. Sometimes you got to slow down to speed up.
Slow down to speed up.
Yep. So,
yeah.
any questions out there? We got about 10 more minutes before.
I'm sorry if this is bothering y'all. I keep putting it down so I don't mess with it, but I'm just.
I sound like freaking. Is it Scooby Doo? That's Scooby, and I sound like dang Scooby when I laugh sometimes. It's either Pee Wee Herman or Scooby freaking Doo.
I remember when I first met him and he belly laughed for the first time. I was like, that's a crazy laugh.
Yeah. Lo and behold, her mom was like, secretly, he laughs like Pee Wee Herman.
My mom loves him though.
So like a year later, she was like, do you know that you laugh like Pee Wee Herman? And I'm like, dang it. Think it come out of her nose.
No, it's just, I was trying to swallow it.
So, any questions out there?
I don't know, everybody got real quiet.
Steampunk, you must be on the East Coast. If it's about to be 5 p.m., we're here Central Time.
So technically...
Anybody located here in the South, like Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, Tennessee, Louisiana?
Louisiana?
Yeah.
Alabama?
Thinking about doing a
season,
a series on thrifting and stuff, and I thought it would be kind of cool to try and
of course, Swamp
meet
Picker
up
would be in
with
Louisiana.
some people located in our region to do some different thrift trips.
That'd be fun. I'm half Louisianian.
Yeah, and do some different kind of stuff. I think that'd be kind of cool. And so if you are, how far Louisiana are you? And Joe Burrow is the real deal. He'll know what I'm talking about. He's going to be an LSU fan. He's from Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, watch. He'll comment here shortly. Maybe you won't because you feel like you have to now, so you're not going to comment. But
you're
now
psyching yourself out.
I'm playing a mind game like now. He's like... So you're not... Yeah, that's awesome. So that's not too far. We drive through... Isn't it Ruston that we would drive through?
We do.
We
Ruston.
would drive through Ruston.
I always
when
eat at the Nukes.
Go see her family. We'd eat the Nukes. And Michigan, way up there.
Oh, it's so cold. I bet it is so cold up there.
Yeah.
One of my really good friends went to MSU.
Yeah, you're up there by WBK Ultra. And
oh, yeah.
We're going to meet up with him sometime early next year. I think maybe in February. He's coming south. So we're going to meet up and do some videos together. Some videos. But he's in Detroit, I think, is where he's at. I don't know where you're at. Michigan's kind of like a very weird geographically located state. You've got this, and then you've got this little area that's up here by Canada. I think it's by Canada. Where are you at? Are you in Bentonville, Ashley? Is that where you're from?
Is that where you're from?
Is that where you're from? I don't know why. It just came out. I feel kind of lame today.
No, you can't just choose when you're lame, Joe.
No, I didn't say I'm lame. I said I feel lame.
We went to, Reseller King / Reseller Man, listen.
There's some girl that really Instagram famous type thing, like 100,000 followers on Instagram. She's from the Bentonville area. I don't know if you knew that. 42 degrees there.
Exactly. See, Reseller Man. Listen, we were on our way to lunch, and he was like, "I think I'm lame." I'm like, "No, you're
something happened, and I felt lame."
And I was like, "You can't just choose when you're lame. Like, you're either lame with us or you're not lame." You know what I'm saying? Thank you,
I'm
Reseller
opposite
Man.
of you, so I cannot be lame.
Lameism is a choice.
Yeah,
it's a choice.
Let me see what her name is. Ashley.
Reseller Man says choose a side. Choose. I watched the 300.
That's lame for even
either you're
asking
for
me.
one crew or you're against one crew.
Let's see. The Deal Queen is her name on Instagram. And I reached out. She didn't reach back. So I'm like, we're local. Like, you're in Arkansas. That's cool. Like, let's talk. Anybody do that? Like, if you do YouTube, you reach out to people, and then they don't reach back because, like, you're a smaller channel and you reach out to, like, a larger channel. They're like, they blow you off. There's so many people who have blown me off that...
Hey, all you can do is ask.
I know.
All you can do is ask. And if they don't do it, then...
Just ask questions. Like, I'm not looking for your platform or your spotlight. Like, I don't care about that. Like, I just got questions to ask you. And people blow me off. That's why I like, Raking Profits. He's a good dude. He's always been
He's always helping people
very,
out.
very helpful. There's others that just are not very helpful if you reach out. And I get it. If you're in that position, there's people reaching out all the time. I understand that. Like, it's hard to, people reach out to us. It's crazy. People reach out to us.
She is not lame.
They ask for help, and I'm like, here's my phone number, call me. And nobody ever calls.
Okay, but listen.
What?
Phone numbers are difficult because then you have to, like, call.
Yeah, but messaging is like, it takes forever.
I understand. I'm just saying there are a lot of people who have a problem with phone calls. So, like, emails and messages maybe. I mean, like, even, I don't know. I think everybody
I can
knows
understand the
it's common
intimidation
knowledge
factor. I get that, but, like, I'm busy. Like, I don't have time to, like, I could have a 10-minute conversation with you versus, like, an email that lasts, because I don't formulate words very well in a written format. So it would take me forever, one, to figure out what somebody's trying to say, and then two, to try to figure out a response to their message that doesn't, like, because I'm very, like, short and to the cool point, like, that doesn't sound offensive. So, like, I'm in that battle. So, like, a phone call, we can do it.
I'm the exact opposite. Whereas, like, if I call somebody on the phone, I either have to have the questions written down, or I'm going to completely forget and feel like an idiot and just start blabbering. And then also, I don't know how to end conversations very well. I think it's I think it's common knowledge right now. I think I've mentioned it enough times to let you guys know, like, I have social anxiety a little bit. And especially when it comes to, like, phone calls. Like, I got to amp up to, like, call the doctor. I've been making my own doctor's appointments, since I was a teenager. But I still have to, like, amp myself up just to be able to do it. And I do it. Like, I get through my life, but it's like, there's, like, a little bit more challenge than some other people. And so, but, like, even sending an email, like, to hit the send button, I'm like, okay. And then I just hit the send button and go. So, like, I totally understand, like, the not reaching out. I know it's necessary and important and I do it. But also, like, phone calls are very difficult for me.
I can understand that.
You're like, we're going to get it done. We're going to do
I grew up
this.
where, like, it's like, I remember my grandma, she would call on Mondays, and she'd be like, all right, I'm done talking to you now. So that's how I grew up. Like, all right, you're done talking. You just say, all right, I'm done talking. I'm goodbye. So I get that, I get that. But I don't know why I said all that. Just to say, like, people, like, I'm interested to see how things progress with those people as time and information comes out. I'm just interested. A little social experiment. Like, will people be reaching back out then when they find out the news? When we all find out the news? I don't know.
Dun, dun, dun.
Any further questions? Because we're about to have to go. It's 4 o'clock. Yeah, I never watched, because I don't buy any of that stuff. But I thought she's close, So watch her videos. Her videos.
I'm half half
should,
Cajun and half Filipino. My Filipino grandmother says videos.
Yes, if you don't know who Joe Coy is, he does cuss. So if you find cursing to be offensive, don't watch Joe Coy. But he's a funny dude.
And everything he talks about with his Filipino mother, like, that's my life.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, I guess that's it for today. Thank y'all for tuning in. And if you've watched this far on the replay, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Because if you watched for an hour of us rambling, like, you are our kinds of people. So hit that subscribe button. Like it if you haven't done so already. We appreciate y'all. If y'all have any questions that you want answered, send us a message. You don't have to call on the phone.
Unless you want to.
Unless you want to. But that's it. Peace.
Stay lame.
I think this is...
I don't know how to end it.
Dang it. Where did the...
I don't know. That's not it.
We'll go by here in a second.
There
There we go. It's the eggs. We did this last week, too. Thank you, Lisa.